Hello, welcome to the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. It is a privilege to be with you today. It has been quite a while that I was here. I am excited to be back here with you. We have been carrying on some technical work here at the new ABC location, and that is why I have been away for quite a while. We are making things here at ABC to look better. The next time you look at the studio, it will be scintillating. It will be looking fabulous, beautiful, exciting to watch. So please, as we delay to come to you on a daily basis, just bear with us. We have had some technical issues. We have had to replace the server. We have had to change location, and we're still trying to put up things to take their shape. So please, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. I just want to come here today to give you a little briefs of what is going on out there as far as the revolution is concerned. I hope that all of you are doing well out there and remain strong and encouraged for what you see, all the world drafts that you see out there, from Mamfe or Manu to Mezam. They call it the Great Mezam. I think they deserve it. Mezam deserves it. Calling themselves the Great Mezam. Yes, they do. So I want to believe all of what you see out there, ladies and gentlemen, has been very, very encouraging. Very, very encouraging to all of you. Please go ahead and hit your share button. I don't know whether I am frozen or if this is actually on. I don't know whether this is frozen or is actually on. Okay, I think it is actually on. So please go ahead and hit your share button and let Ambazonia know. The anchor man is here and alive, not live, but alive. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying put there. Again, I come to you today with some updates as per our struggle. I don't like calling it the revolution. We are not in a revolution anymore. We are in a struggle. The revolution was initially to change the form of state in French Cameroon to a federal system. We have soon walked away from that, and so we are no longer in a revolution. We are in a struggle, and the struggle is about independence. We are no longer trying to change the form of state in French Cameroon because we don't belong to French Cameroon. We have nothing in common with French Cameroon other than, apart from our past with them. What we do now, we are looking for a new country that we call the Federal Republic of Amazonia. And so again, once more, I'd like to welcome all of you. Please go ahead, hit your share button. Hit your share button so I can come to you with very, very important information, vital information for you today. Hit your share button as you join. Hit your share button as you join. So today, I shall be talking about a certain development we are hearing out there in the media. The Nigerian media particularly talking about United Nations granting independence to some states in Nigeria and Amazonia next month. You've all heard about that. We will also talk about the war drive. We'll talk about developments in the Ngaribo, Bui, Kumbo, with the Bui warriors. We will also talk about what is happening in Manu. Most of you have seen the footages out there in the social media with some traditional chiefs in Manu carrying out some incantations to curse Amazonia restoration fighters in Manu and those who support them. We are going to talk about that, and if we have some time, I will open the phone lines to take your phone call, a few of them, especially for those of you watching by way of ABC television satellite on Ground Zero. I want to believe all of you on Ground Zero are doing excellent, and those of you also on Ground One, I want to believe you are doing excellent also. Again, I welcome all of you, and I can't say anything different other than to say the state of a revolution has never been stronger. Yes, the state of a revolution, of the struggle, I beg your pardon, has never been stronger. From Manu to Mezam. In the Amber War Draft, we have seen levels upon levels being set on every weekend. Last week it was Mezam. We started with Manu with over $100,000 raised for Manu. Then we went to Bui and raised over $83,000. Then we went to Ngok-Ketunjia. We raised, it wasn't Ngok-Ketunjia, am I correct? Yes, I think it was Ngok-Ketunjia. And we raised, I think, over $87,000. We went to Kupe Manuguba. We raised also over $80,000. We went to Fako. We raised over $130,000. Last Sunday was Mezam, and Mezam set a new level. Mezam set a new level of over $420,000. That is more than half of the money that was raised for my trip to Boya. In 3 months was raised in about 3 hours, ladies and gentlemen. $420,000. That is over 210 million CFA francs was raised within 3 hours here in the diaspora, only by Mezam comrades. So who says Amazonia is not ready to prosecute the war? Ladies and gentlemen, do not be fooled. Do not be fooled. We are ready. Amazonians are more than ready to prosecute this war. And we can see that. We can see the proofs from what every county is putting out there. And if you are on Ground Zero, on Ground One, we urge you to stay put and know that there is progress. We will not surrender or give up our destiny, our country to French Cameroon. We are never going back to live with French Cameroon. After this year is over, we're going to go forward next year, ladies and gentlemen. That is assuming if French Cameroon does not want to come to table to negotiate this conflict, we will go on to conduct another war drive. We must continue to raise funds until French Cameroon comes to the table to decide on the terms of our separation. That is what this is all about. That is what this is all about. And I'd like to formally, on behalf of the interim government, appreciate and thank all of you out there in Manu, in Golketunja, in Boué, in Coupe Maneguba, in Fako, in Mezam, of course. Thank you for your great generosity. Thank you for the spirit in you, the spirit to take back that which belongs to you. Will we continue to do so until we have exhausted every county in Ambazonia? So far, we have 5 counties gone, remaining 9. Am I correct? We have 13 counties. So, we have done 5 so far. This weekend is Lebialem, ladies and gentlemen. That is my own county. I am appealing to all of you out there. If you are friends of Chris Ano, I am urging you, please show up for the BLM Zoom meeting, World Drive Zoom meeting on Sunday. It is going to be unlike any other county and Mezam. Mezam, I can assure you, you set the level so high, the BLM is going to cross that level. And for that reason, I am pleased inviting all of you out there who are excited about what the people of the BLM are doing in this struggle. Please join us on Sunday. Support Chris Ano. Support Field Marshal. Stand with the people of the BLM. Let us draft for the BLM. Let us draft for the Fangshe. Let us draft for Fontem Asongaye. Let us draft for Nkange. Let us draft for the tools that will deliver Ambazonia into our hands. Thank you so very much. I want to believe you will do so. Again, that is Sunday, the BLM World Drive. This is my formal invitation to all of you. And if you cannot be there on Sunday for one reason or the other, please call my number after this broadcast. Let me know what you can contribute, and I will take down your name. Whatever you contribute, your name and your amount shall be announced at the Zoom. Your name will be announced at the Zoom. So please, if you cannot be at the BLM World Drive on Sunday, what you can do is call my number after the broadcast or send me a message. Send me a message. I just need to know what you're going to draft. Then on Sunday, I will make sure I call your name and let the BLM people know and let Ambazonia know what you are contributing. That is assuming you shall not be able to attend it, maybe for one reason or the other you may be working. Please call my number and let me know what you are drafting for the BLM. But if you are going to be there, you don't need to do anything. All right. Also, I'll have some information here to give you for anonymous donations. Anonymous donations. The interim government has come up with some information that can help people to donate anonymously. And unfortunately, the link is quite long. But what I will do I will put up this link later on after the broadcast. I will put up this link later on after the broadcast. I wanted to give most of you. For those of you on Ground Zero, I want you to know we have information that we can give you, because I have heard so many of you say you want to support the struggle. You want to support these drafts from Ground Zero. You want to support your county, but you don't know how to do it from Ground Zero. We have a web link that I shall put up on ABC website after these broadcasts. Anybody, no matter what part of the world you are, if you follow this link, if you get to that link, click on that link, it takes you to a web page. Listen to me carefully, and this is very, very accurate. When you click on that link, get on the website, you can make a donation of any amount on that website, and nobody, not even La Republic, not their best security, will know to whom you send the money. In other words, it is anonymous. It is not traceable. Nobody can trace it or track it. So if you are on Ground Zero or on Ground One or any part of the world, you want to donate anonymously, please, I will put that link on the Facebook website, ABC Facebook website, and after the broadcast, so you can go there, click on that link. You want to support Le BLM, you click on that link, make an anonymous donation, and nobody, not even the person you are sending the money to, knows who is sending the money. You can never be traced or tracked. So it is very, very vital that we use that. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Let us get back to what is going on, ladies and gentlemen. A lot is going on in Ngaribo. You must have learned that the so-called Ngaribo Tribunal opened in Yaoundé yesterday. And let me read something to you here, information that is out there that many people are not very much aware about what is going on in Ngaribo. I will read some information to you. Ngaribo and is it Ntumbo? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what is going on in Ngaribo. Now, this is very, very dependable piece of information that has been forwarded to us. And this is what it says. I will read it to you. It says, the continuous harassment of the people of Ntumbo, and particularly those of Ngaribo, after the massacre. It is clear that the international community has to do something, and immediately, to protect the people of Ntumbo, and particularly those of Ngaribo, wherever they may be, or they shall completely be wiped out from the surface of the earth by French Cameroon soldiers, just to clean any traces of them in case of a possible ICC, International Criminal Court, hearings. Just in case there is an International Criminal Court hearings, La Republique is trying to wipe out anybody from Ngaribo, just to make sure that if there is an ICC hearing, there are no witnesses to testify to what happened there, what took place there. After establishing a military base there, with the falsehood of providing security to the people, the government, that is La Republique du Cameroon government, has systematically used the same mbororos and vigilantes they said never knew where they went after the massacre, to stick out and set the villagers to be arrested, setting the villagers in Ngaribo and Ntumbo to be arrested. As we speak, one Ahaji Amidu of Ngaribo after seeing cows of the others swept away, decided to sell his own cows. Decided to sell all of his own cows. Immediately he sold them. The Mbororos connived with the military. He was taken to Bafoussam, and 1.6 million francs, 1.6 million CFA francs was taken from him for his freedom. In other words, he bribed the French Cameroon authorities in Bafoussam 1.6 million to regain his freedom. All right. Another one, or another man is called Moki. He had his son Yu. His son Yu was picked up some days back, and the brother Chumka was also picked up on the 6th of June after the Mbororos took away more than 110, ladies and gentlemen, more than 110 cows from him. And they are locked up in Ndu and are undergoing torture. These two gentlemen are locked up as I speak in Ndu, and they are going through torture. The rest of the population is on their heels. That is in Tumbo, in Garebo. The rest of the population is on their heels, and the few who have nowhere to go, live with their hearts in their hands. They are all monitored, and it suffices that Mbororo, a member of the Vigilantes, created by Ngala Gerard, was created by Ngala Gerard. It should be noted that it suffices that these Mbororos and Vigilantes who committed a massacre in Garebo feel bad about you, and it's, I don't know what he's trying to say here. But ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to put somebody online who has been following up these developments, and he has first-hand information as per what is going on in Garebo and in Bui with the Bui warriors. I am talking about the one and only Sheikh Tata Selvism, who manages or runs Scandi Media. Scandi Media, ladies and gentlemen, is one of those social media outlets out there that bring us genuine, not fake, but genuine information. They report real news, not fake news. And so when you read Scandi Media, you can take what you read there to the bank. Of course, mistakes are always made, but they are also a platform that will go back to do a corrigendum on any story, any article to put out that is not correct. But I am joined with Sheikh Tata Selvism, who shall be giving us current information of what is going on in Tumbo, in Garebo, Ambu. Hello, sir.
Good evening, Secretary Chris, and thanks for having me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Tell us what is going on in Garebo. There's supposed to be a trial that started yesterday in Yaoundé, so-called military tribunal for the perpetrators of the massacre in Garebo. What do you know? It was yesterday.
Thank you for that question. I must confess that you have taken me aback, unlike last time when I was briefed of what I was going to talk about. I thought you invited me to talk about the way forward for Bui Warriors, but that's okay.
We will get there, right? We will get there. Because I've been reading reports on your website on the Garebo and Tumbo and Bui.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, there was it was going on the court case in the military tribunal, and what we got was simply the fact that international community has been putting pressure on the Biya regime as they instructed them to try those who were found guilty. The reason being that rumor had it that some of those military men that were accused were actually fake militarymen names that did not exist.
Are you saying that the names they put out there, nobody knows those names? Are you saying they are all fake?
We are saying that out of the 3 names, 2, I said it was rumored, and that is what the people shared out, and it got into the international community. And I'm sure that the pressure put out there, because this is not the first time they are doing that. You will remember of the case in the north where women carrying children were killed, and the Biya regime claimed it was in Mali.
Yeah.
It turned out that some of the people they claimed to have tried or to have apprehended and tried were ghosts. Most of them actually did not exist in the military. And this is the game they play all through. When they admit something, they fake names and bring and read in public, and then we believe that these people actually exist. And that is why the international community put pressure on them. But the real thing, I don't know if you are aware, is that while they are pretending that this trial is going on, the plan is to go back to make sure that they eliminate or wipe out every evidence in Garbu. So that if anything happens, there won't be any trace. So far, this is the only information I have since the last one we talked about concerning Garbu. If I say anything more than this, then I am lying to you.
Thank you. Thank you. We understand that almost everybody has run out of Ngarebu.
Yes, that's very true. Yeah, the village is almost empty because the villagers have been informed. And you remember for a fortnight ago, we had the military coming in and shooting at the civilians, and probably that was the intention. If they do not kill them, they should at least chase them to places that cannot be traced.
Do we have any reason, do we know any reason why they should be chasing out civilians? I mean, they have nothing there. Why would they be chasing out civilians?
You know, there will be, we heard of the military base which they are struggling to put up there. That's the first thing. And this is, you know, Cameroon, they like to appreciate things in the wrong way. They commit a crime, and instead of building up that community, what they can offer the community is another genocide machinery.
Okay.
And one of the reasons why you will notice that they are chasing people is, first of all, the resistance. And they want to make sure that while they are constructing the military base, they should not have any resistance from whosoever. That is the first reason.
Now, how far have they gone with constructing the military base? How much progress have they made?
As long as we had it some 2 weeks ago, so far they have built 2 big blocks where they are, I think it's like a warehouse where they have most of their materials. But it looks like we said, sometimes this military, we don't know whether it's lack of funds or what. They start anything and then they leave it halfway, just like the construction of roads. So far, nothing has gone beyond that for 2 weeks.
Now, we also understand that the Mbororo population is collaborating with French Cameroon to chase out the indigents. What do you know about this? About the veracity of this?
One of the things that I know about the Mbororo community is that, which it's a positive thing, they are very united.
Okay.
When you touch one of them, you touch all of them. And that means all the way through, irrespective of where they are. And La République found this as a strength, as an advantage to use against our struggle. And that is why sometimes they steal some of these cows and they try to put it on Ambazonians.
Right.
And some of the cases is not only in Tumbo that you are saying. We also had a case in Yankitari in Bui, where the Mbororos who come and steal these cows, you will see that they are well armed with AK-47s given by the regime, in order that when people see these things, they begin to assume that these are Amba boys carrying up the process. And for that reason, they did not only do that, they did that in a way that when they realized that since most of the materials, or some of the materials, let me not say most now, because most of the materials we have on Ground Zero now is being produced by the same Amber Boys now.
Right.
At first, when we used to get our materials from the neighboring country, Nigeria, they had to put us at loggerheads. And the Mbororos in Nigeria, both in Nigeria and at the borders in Ndonga and Mantum, they were the ones that intercepted our boys, sometimes seized our materials and killed some of our boys. But now things are changing because some are being apprehended. And that is the game that the La Republic uses most of the time.
So tell us about what is happening in Bui, between Bui warriors and these other Rook guys and the community. I was reading something, I think it was yesterday, to the effect that members of the community have asked the other Rook fellows to hand over to the Bui warriors the arms they confiscated from them when they were ambushed. Can you paint the picture of what goes on, the picture of this conflict between these two factions? Can you paint the picture of what goes on right now to us, please?
Secretary Chris, I will not use the word roots as such in this case.
That is your opinion. You are free to say so, sir.
Yeah, exactly. And I take responsibility for that opinion. What I will say, like we used to say, everybody, there's a statement on social media, the diaspora is doing this. But when we accuse the diaspora, we are pointing at just some few individuals, because the diaspora is also doing a wonderful job. And the same holds for what is happening in Ground Zero, which is what we call, why I wouldn't refer to these people as rooks, but as some few individuals who are being manipulated.
When you say a few individuals being manipulated, are these individuals part of the fighting force?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And who do you say is manipulating them?
Some of them have actually their leaders. They have most of their leaders, or some of their leaders, let me say, not most. They are in the diaspora, and that's why I said some of the diaspora. We wouldn't say it's the whole diaspora that is manipulating them. But we have some certain leaders in the diaspora who have a position that if it is not their way, then it's no other person's way. And despite the fact that Ground Zero tries as much as possible to work together, these people will always stand on their way. And this happens sometimes through phone calls or through the benefits they share with them, through tokens that they send to them. And this has played a major role in the feuds that we have in Ground Zero amongst the Bui warriors. Why do I say so? As one of the persons that stood for the formation of Bui warriors, Secretary Chris, if you permit me, let me tell you something about Bui warriors. Bui warriors is not a group.
Okay.
Bui warrior is a platform. And initially, the platform was supposed or was formed by 3 groups. And these 3 groups are the ASC. You remember the former ASC?
Correct.
That the IG subletted.
Correct.
And then we had the ADF.
Okay.
And we had another group that was called the independent group. That means those fighters that did not belong to the ADF nor the ASC.
Okay.
These are 3 groups that came to form a platform that is called Bui Warriors. So when you hear this divide that people call Bui Warriors and ADF of Bui, it's simply because of politics. It could be that most or some of the groups of ADF decided to withdraw from Bui Warriors, but I can tell you that there are still some ADF groups that remained with Bui warriors and are fighting as Bui warriors. The reason was just simple. They had situations where the maintaining of these names, ASC and ADF, brought them infighting and misunderstanding. Now, what do I mean? They became a situation where when these boys were fighting, their leaders in the diaspora or promoters in the diaspora were simply claiming victories. And sometimes they claim what a particular group did not do.
Mm-hmm.
So this brought a lot of confusion among the two groups. And so the suspicion led into what we are having today.
But let me take you back to the formation of the creation of county by county. When county by county was created, the wisdom was in getting all the fighting forces in every county to come together and fight as a unit. Of course, some of these other guys were still there, like the ADF, trying to maintain their force. However, in Bui in particular, where it turned out they became anti-population, anti-community. The community came out in their numbers, and we understand, and chased them out. But it appears, did they just reconstitute, or how are we still hearing about ADF in Bui?
I don't think that the point is, Secretary Chris, if I must be honest with you, before county by county came into implementation, and then when we had ASC, the defense force, and this is where we are having problems in Bui, in that the ADF feels that they are not being acknowledged as they call themselves. They believe that they were the founding force of the founding defense force in Bui, and which is a fact.
So who do they want to acknowledge them? The people of Bui, or who?
Yeah, I think what is happening, like we said about the diaspora, is their policy. ADF has a policy that they are a national force and not a county force.
I don't think we have a problem with the ADF being a national force or a county force. The problem we have with them is turning their guns and working with La République du Cameroon to kill our own brothers, kill our own people. I mean, Kugwe is still very clear. Guzang is still very clear. And Bui itself is still very clear, where on several occasions they went there to confront Bui warriors. So why should they be concerned that they are not being recognized? I mean, you are from the area. I don't know what your take on this is.
I am from the area, but the case in other counties may not necessarily be the same as the case in Bui.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that if we take, for an example, an incident that happened in Ngondron and area a few days ago, you will realize that even the population cannot still understand why these children still fight each other and still have these problems with names, because they had agreed upon themselves that they are children of Bui, and what matters to them is not politics. I will tell you that Bui warriors at some point said that they belong to nobody, that they are like an orphan, and they are waiting for whoever comes to adopt them. And this happened when.
But then, in the era of county by county, you won't have any force in any area saying they don't belong to anybody, because we want accountability on ground zero, so that a situation where you have all these kidnappings and ransom takings and stealing people's cars, stealing cows, stealing, and so on and so forth, and people are complaining day in, day out. So we cannot have any force on the ground that, or anybody, any general on the ground who doesn't want to be accountable. So I think in the era of county by county, you will agree that no force, none, should want to say they are on their own, they are owned by nobody, because they need to take instructions, and not only instructions, they also need support. I am always of the mentality that any force, any group on the ground, fighting group on the ground that doesn't want to belong, to take instruction, to follow a chain of order, is the group. They are the groups taking, abducting people and taking ransom from people.
Limited interest. Are you done, please?
Yes, go ahead. Go on, please.
Good. For your interest, I want to say that I was among those who stood at the beginning for this collaboration before the start of the county by county. And what you are saying initially was what we agreed. The first thing was that the Bui warriors had to do a recount of their, the ASC had to do a recount of their forces, and ADF was to do the same. Now, what we wanted to do was, first of all, to identify all of these fighters, and this was to know how we could separate them from those that were doing kidnapping on ground zero. If anything as such could happen, we could be able to trace. But what happened with the county by county process is that money came in and disrupted the process, because we were in the process of building a memorandum of understanding. This did not go through. So those who handled the finance disrupted the process, and many groups came up in Bui because they thought that it was going to be a money-making event, because people thought that the county will be sending money and we could not contain these groups. Now, what the next point where we had a problem was that ADF stood grounds that each time there was an operation and ADF did the operation, it had to be reported that ADF did it.
Okay.
And that is where we started seeing how we could agree. We tried to convince people.
The question, though, is if they had agreed that they should not be identified to any group, so how come was SDF demanding that they be identified for what they do?
Like I said, the diaspora had their own, the diaspora and the group, they have their own policy. And
okay.
This is what I said, that they took this policy and brought into ground zero. The fighters do not, trust me, Chris, the fighters do not have a problem. At some point, you will hear fighters, they do not even understand which one is this and which one is this. All they needed to do was to get a gun to defend them, to defend the population. One thing you need to understand is that some people join the defense forces for various reasons.
Mm-hmm.
There are some who came in to retaliate what must have happened to their families, what the military must have done to this and that. But county by county was lacking in a point that we county, to my opinion, uses more power from the diaspora than in ground zero.
So when you keep saying the diaspora, can you be specific and tell us who in the diaspora? Is it the IG? Is it the ADF? Is causing the trouble that we know is going on? You are a reporter, and you should call it as it is, right?
All right. It is no longer news. We all know, we have heard videos of commands coming from the diaspora.
Right.
We have heard people say, this is what should be done, this is what should be done. What we are trying to say here, Secretary Chris, is that once the diaspora plays a role, it's a good thing that they contribute money and send to the boys down there. But what happens is that when the money comes down there, it is shared in a way that some fighters at some point begin to doubt if they really belong to this group.
Okay.
And that is why we have been advising the Bui County to to try as much as possible to work with the coordinators or the LGA council down in Ground Zero who understand the needs of this boy. If you can imagine that up till date, as I speak to you, even yesterday, one of the fighters still informed me that for 3 years he has been fighting. The only thing he has received from Bui County are 17 bullets that were shared, what we call granules, that were shared in one general meeting. And that camp is not alone.
Okay.
Now, the point is, people in the diaspora as well who contribute money. We have heard so many families in the US who do not even have an account, but the same people are able to ask about the accountability for my trip to Buea. But the same case, according to my research in Bui County, is happening, because I remember some coordinators almost got into trouble because I learned they wrote a letter to Bui County saying that they heard that money was being contributed, but this money they have never seen. They do not know how much came in, so they could also write and appreciate and show what they do with this money. But the point is that some of the leaders, whether in the Bui County or in the ADF, they have their favorite commanders that they call probably and buy materials and give to them, which is also fair enough. But the point is that we need to understand that all other commanders need materials to perform their duties as well.
Okay.
And as we speak to you, and that is why even in you will notice that the painful thing during the draft, the Bui draft or war draft, you will notice that we got a list. And we don't know whether in Bui we are unlucky or we are cursed or our people are not giving or people are not assisting us. First, when the IG drew the program for the draft, we was taken on a Sunday where Manu or another group came on a Saturday. The proximity was very unfair.
Well, you are very correct, and I've heard calls for a redrive for Bui. I think the ball is all in your court. It's a matter of you coming back to the interim government to say, we want to redo it. I believe if all the counties have gone and then you come back and say you want to go again, I think who doesn't want the money? So I think I would say that you guys put your suggestion to the IG, and then after every other county is gone, then you can go again. And if any other county wants to go again, we need the money, right? Now, before I let you go, we don't have a lot of time. I still have somebody to come in here and tell us what is happening in Manu with the chiefs and the incantations and so on. Tell me, what is the situation in Bui now with the warriors and these other guys?
What I am thinking and what I know, I'm not going to go, I don't like to be part of the problem. I like to be part of the solution.
Okay.
And the solution here is, like I said, there are just some few individuals in the diaspora who call and make things go out of proportion. I will give you an example of the last incident where materials for Bui warriors were seized.
Okay.
Yeah. When the materials were seized, there are a lot of them. I even didn't get the number until when they came to return part that was retrieved, before I knew that we had lost, really, we lost enough material that could have dealt with La Republique. What happened is, when it happened, people only blow things out of the proportion. But I called the commander. I tried to talk to the commander who was holding these things, and I listened to him, and he explained his grievances.
Okay.
He gave his reasons. He said his own materials were confiscated, and he gave a number which, of course, I know he exaggerated, but I told him that that was not the solution, because two wrongs do not make a right. And he told me...
listen, Sheikh Tata, unfortunately, time is not on our side right now. I still have so much. If you can just tell us, what is the situation now, please.
Now, that's where I'm driving to, the situation where the diaspora, where we can help to retrieve this.
All right.
Please, if you give me a few minutes. He gave a condition, and in that condition, after asking why I didn't intervene when his were seized, I told him that I couldn't intervene because I saw him reconcile with late Chacha and they were in public, and I thought that the problem was resolved. I didn't know he had a grudge. So
Okay.
it would be better for him to hand in the material. And he promised me that he was willing to have a talk. So I told the warriors.
A talk with
not
who?
to react, with the warriors, with the Bui warriors.
Okay.
To hand in the material. He
Okay.
was very, but he gave a condition saying that if a gun was fired, he was going to kill the 3 people he had arrested from the Bui warriors who came to retrieve the material.
Now, this guy you are referring to is a ADF guy, correct?
Yes, Ebube. Yeah,
Okay.
Commander Ebube from ADF, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he gave us that assurance. But unfortunately, I don't know what happened. His commander fired and killed 2 warriors.
Okay.
And that is where it went out of hand. But still at such, the warriors still gave a command, still gave a condition and asked him to release the 3 people he was keeping in custody so that we could resolve the matter peacefully. So as we speak, the population now asked the warriors to return so they could try to retrieve the material. The population did their best, got some materials and brought, but unfortunately it was just about 1/4, and part of it was not part of the material that was bought.
So they had changed they had mixed the material with some old ones.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So we were happy that they were retrieving the material. So as we speak, the material is still with him and his group. And the Bui warriors are still saying that they can strike a peace deal if those who are giving him this bad advice can convince him to hand in the materials. The reason being that you saw in my report, Kumbu and Bui in particular has been militarized.
Right.
The whole of Minuf, the whole of Ikaikom, and now Ikaikelaki. These 3 places have been militarized. And that is the more reason we are asking for more support and asking for this material to come so that we can join as Bui warriors and fight the enemy and not ourselves.
So, if you have the place filled with the military now, and you believe in these guys that they are there to defend Bui, defend Kumbo, why are you not confident that those arms should be left in their hands to use it to defend Bui and Kumbo? Is it that they are not doing the job, only the warriors can do it, or what?
Thank you for that question, Secretary Chris. The only problem that we have is that of suspicion.
Okay.
Yeah. The point is, we had a battle at where the military trekked to his camp last time. The Bui warriors came for backup. At the same time, they were fighting the military and suspecting him. He was fighting the military and suspecting Bui warriors. So if what we would have loved to have is, first of all, to have peace, to sit down and talk as brothers and fight as one. When they talk together, they take an oath together, they fight together.
Let me ask you, the last time, before we knew, the last time, the Bui warriors, the Bui community chased out the ADF. Am I correct? They said they didn't want to see them in Bui.
There was an incident that, if we have to talk about it, it didn't have the. It's another village between Kaikom and it's also in Kumbu and Banten. That is where we have another ADF camp. And the point is that people also keep. I would like to be honest with you.
No, I asked that question only because I was surprised that we are hearing that the same community is coming in. Instead of asking these guys to leave, they are trying to mediate. So essentially, it is not the same community, correct?
No, it's a different community, but still in Bui.
Okay.
And what these people are saying is that all these boys who are fighting are their children.
Right.
And they do not understand why they have this division among themselves. At some point, they were questioning if people are using charms to separate these boys. So if people can use their mouths, their money to unite these boys more, if we can contribute money and shared equally according to the needs for these boys, I think all these problems, they will die down automatically, and we will face just the common enemy.
So let me ask you, Bowie County has raised a lot of money in their drive. I know you guys say it's not enough, you want to do it again. But let me ask you, when you get this money, how are you going to use it? You are an integral part of that community. How are you going to use it? With the Warriors, or both the Warriors and these other guys?
Secretary Chris, let me, before I answer that question, how we're going to use it, if we have to wait till the drafts are over, probably by the time you send the money to Bui would have been conquered.
Conquered by who?
By La Republic, because you see, it looks like, I'm sorry, I hope that other counties will not be offended by this, but it's a fact that Bui has been on constant attack daily for 6 months, more than 6 months, daily.
Yeah, but you have the money in your hands. I don't think the interim government is holding the money for you.
That is the impression we get, and that's what makes people begin to doubt, because when we contact, when the Bui Warrior contacts Bui County about the money, Bui County says the money is still in the IG funds. And when this game starts playing, the people get confused, because they have asked and said there is an emergency, but they say the money cannot, that they will wait until the draft is over.
Well, so let me set the record straight a little bit. Part of the funds, the draft, is possibly with the IG, but part of it also, I believe the greater part of it is with the counties, and the IG possibly has part of it only because some people were calling in directly to the IG to make those donations, and then asking the IG to put it in the county, whichever county they choose, to put that money in a particular county. So that is why the IG has some of that money. But I would say the larger sums are with the county. But also one thing very, very important that we need to know, ladies and gentlemen, is that more than between 60 to 70% of the drafts are still in pledges. So we should not make a mistake going after people thinking they are sitting on top of money and they don't want to release it. No, most of the money, 60 to 70%, as I've seen in most counties, is still in pledges. They were given a few months to redeem the pledges, and until they come in, we don't want to hold anybody responsible for delaying to release money. So I think this education is very important when you speak to your guys.
That's right. And to answer your question now, which you asked, I told you that about these camps that we are talking about are just about 3 to 4 camps of the ADF. The other camps of the ADF are fighting with the Bui Warriors.
All right, and they are not causing havoc.
No. The only problem where you will see them cause havoc is this suspicion problem issue that we have, and the reason is simply because some of their brothers out there have not yet joined. They have not come together to work as one.
All right. Listen, thank you. We will get back to this in the near future. Thank you for this information. You have a great day, sir.
Thank you very much, Secretary Chris, and hope you will tell me my topic next time.
I definitely will, but you know what your topic is all the time, right? All right. You have a great night, sir. And stay safe.
I hope you will still invite me. We are united together.
Come on, you are permanent here.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Shay. I think Shay in Banso means chief, right? Yeah, I think it means a chief. That was Shay Tata Visam of Candy Media, and I love his reporting because he tells it as it is, even though I'm a little pushy, but I have to be. All right, I take you to the next subject, ladies and gentlemen. You will recall that last week we saw this. Days everywhere on the social media. You saw this in the social media last week, coming from Manu Chiefs, ladies and gentlemen, carrying out some concoction and incantations to possibly aim at killing the restoration fighters in the Manu County. This is what they have resorted to after the soldiers could not overthrow the restoration forces in Manu. They resorted to these incantations to kill the restoration fighters and also to supposedly kill the supporters, everyone supporting or sponsoring the restoration fighters in Manu. So, unfortunately, it is not working well. It is not working well for these chiefs. We have found out only just yesterday that one of them, I can't recognize the face. I think it is actually this gentleman I am seeing on my screen here, who just fell and died. He slept and died yesterday. So apparently the gods are not working. The gods are not working for the chiefs of Manu. Now let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, and for every one of you watching at me from Manu, anywhere, of course, on ground zero, these incantations do not work. Those idols, they worship there, they have eyes, they cannot see. They cannot see the restoration forces. They have legs, they cannot walk. They can't walk to where they are. They have ears, they cannot hear those guys talking to them. So all what they do here, ladies and gentlemen, is a waste of time. I believe these men who carried out these incantations, it is not as if they love the Bia's regime. It is not as if they love La République du Cameroun. They are doing what they are doing, ladies and gentlemen, only because they want to maintain their positions. They just want to maintain their positions. If these powers were working, these powers of theirs were working, I believe Ambazonia would be a free nation today. Ambazonia would be a free nation today. But let me tell you, these things, they do not work. If they were to be working, Ambazonia Restoration Forces would have delivered Ambazonia. And even these chiefs could have delivered Ambazonia into our hands. I was going to be joined by our chair of Opa Banyang to tell us about this incantation and what happened here. Unfortunately, I am not getting him on the line to come in and tell us what he knows, but I am going to get somebody to talk to us about these incantations. So ladies and gentlemen, no divination against Ambazonia is going to work. No divination against this struggle is going to work. No incantations against this struggle is going to work. We want all of Ambazonia, if your tribe was trying to do the same, we want you to know this is a God-ordained struggle. God's hand is upon this struggle, and God's hand will take it through. You can do anything. The last time we saw chiefs in Boya, chiefs in Fako, went and sacrificed human being, children, buried them alive. Fako chiefs, they buried children alive to budge the struggle. What happened? Nothing happened. It didn't work. This one too is failing. In fact, they are beginning to fall and die one after the other. These men that you see here, watch out, ladies and gentlemen, they will begin to fall and die one after the other. We are asking them, if you love your life, go and reverse what you did. You know how to reverse it. You better go and reverse it to save your life, because if your God is a God that kills the innocent, if your God is a God of injustice, I can assure you that God cannot prevail against the God of Ambazonia, the God who is the author and the finisher of our faith. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let me get back to a subject that is very, very important. Some of you have heard the news about some Red Dragon soldiers abducted yesterday, and you saw some photos on the social media of equipment confiscated or seized from the Red Dragons. Nothing can be farther from the truth. All that you see on the social media by some irrelevant activists, ladies and gentlemen, are all fabrications. La République du Cameroon propaganda machine. Yesterday, the Red Dragons dealt a blow, a severe blow, a hurricane in that matter on La République du Cameroon soldiers in Libya. That was yesterday. The images you find on social media, those are images of abandoned Le Fancy and Nkangi that the dragons could not carry away after executing their mission. After executing the mission, in which we learned that not less than 25 La République du Cameroon terrorists were sent to hell with blood oozing all over the road. In fact, I learned that they were carrying ground to fill the road, to cover the blood that was spilling everywhere. 3 military trucks of La République du Cameroon were ambushed and totally destroyed. When the dragons left, they could not carry what you see in the social media because they were bad. They were abandoned. They were deliberately abandoned. The wires you see there were the wires they used for their connections. I don't want to go into details with that. But so, when you see those things on the social media, ignore it. Ignore it. When they say students, La République du Cameroon picked up students, female students, that is a big lie. They said that 3 or 4 Red Dragons were abducted or captured. That is a lie. They said 2 AK-47 were picked up from the Dragons. That is a lie. How many of you know the Red Dragons don't fight with AK-47 anymore, ladies and gentlemen? The Red Dragons do not go to war with AK-47 anymore. They have something that is superior. Their equipment is superior to the AK-47. So all that you see on the social media, those images, they are a fabrication. Yes, those pieces of iron you see were those of the Red Dragon, but they were deliberately abandoned there because they are useless. That's the point. So, all right, I will take one more subject, and I will open the phone for a few minutes to take any phone call from you. And the last point I want to discuss is this fake news circulating out there about the so-called United Nations granting Southern Cameroons and some Nigerian towns and villages independence with Ambazonia. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not true. That is fake news. I am very, very surprised that the Nigerian Guardian, which I know used to be the best, not one of the best, but the best in Nigeria in terms of journalism, carried that story. I am yet to ascertain that they actually carried that story or is a make-up. But that story is not true. The United Nations doesn't wake up in the morning and say, I am going to grant that people or those people independence. It doesn't happen like that. And for what reason would villages in Nigeria, possibly northern Nigeria, be cut and joined to Cameroon or to Ambazonia? For what reason? Are they protesting? Are they demanding independence? All this thing going on by one Martin Shea. Martin Shea, ladies and gentlemen, they called it the United UNO State of UNO State of Cameroon. It's a hoogwash. It's a hoogwash. This man is just causing distraction in what he is doing. There is nothing like the United Nations Organization States of Cameroon or Southern Cameroon. Nothing like that. And we don't need that distraction from this man. We are fighting for Ambazonia, not for Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, let us get this. What they are trying to do is a distraction, and we will focus. We will remain focused, ladies and gentlemen, on reclaiming only what belongs to us. The boundaries that we had in 1961. 1961. All right. Let me see what is going on. All right. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. And having said that, I will open the phone line and take a few phone calls before I call it a day today. I think I have the first caller already on the line. Let me see. Okay. Hello, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, Secretary, please.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Sama Thomas, I guess.
Sama Thomas.
All right. What is going on,
He's
sir?
the one, Secretary Chris. I called to contribute about this story of Professor Chia and to enlighten Southern Camerooners what Professor Chia has been doing in the Southern Cameroon struggle for more than 20 years today. He had all been cooking up the story of the UN state of Cameroon with Nigeria. As far back 2001, as I know, Professor Chia came up with this same story, and it has never been founded on any United Nations website that United Nations discussed anything with Professor Chia. But he keep on propagating this message. What I found that Professor Chia is doing is that he is an agent of La Republique, waiting for the moment that Southern Camerooners are standing up to fight for their freedom. He will come up to stir the waters that the United Nations is to give them freedom. Why do you have to fight for your freedom? Don't waste your time fighting for your liberation for somebody is coming to liberate you. That is a lie. People must never take that crap from Professor Chia. He's an agent of the enemy or an agent of the occupier. Thank you.
Thank you. There is no. You are on point, and we don't need that distraction. We don't need that distraction. The only thing we are fighting for, ladies and gentlemen, we are fighting for the state of Ambazonia, the former British Cameroon territories called the Southern Cameroons. That's what we are fighting for. And so please ignore all that you see out there in the so-called United Nations state of the Southern Cameroons. All right. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Can you turn down the volume of your set, please?
Thank you, sir.
All right, I lost that caller. All right. All right. All right. Let me get the next caller. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you're calling from, please?
Yeah, this is Mr. Enes from Finland calling.
All right. Thank you for calling. What is your contribution, please?
I just want to make one thing very clear, especially with the Bui issue. This thing, I don't see why they are putting the interim government or what they have made Bui. Bui is a country and they have a local government. If by now the chair or those who are running the Bui county, they are not able to distinguish between their real fighters and those who are not fighting for this revolution, it's their problem. So they should not be, some of these things is very clear because this confusion is coming based on the fact that it's like they are trying to compromise with other people and saying that they are our brothers, let's fight with them. And immediately they are allowed to fight with them, not knowing that they are the enemies. They get there and kill them.
I think you're making a very vital point. You are making a very, very vital point. And if I'm not wrong, I think I heard my guest said speak to the fact that the draft being raised is going to fund all the fighters in Bui. I mean, if that happens, I think those who manage Bui should be fired because this is the era of county by county, local government by local government. And we are not going to finance any fighters who are not loyal, who do not respect the chain of command.
Yes, because when I see some kind of things, you are compromising with people that you know that they are not for this struggle. You call them your brothers, and then the next day, this thing is so porous. So I'm just like saying that they should arrange their house and make sure that and they should know that people did draft for them, not only the Bui people. So when they make it like that, some of us who drafted for them or who support them, they are discouraging us. So they should clean their house. They should clean their house and make sure that everything should move on smoothly. Thank you. Secretary.
Thank you. I hope they're hearing you. I hope those concerned are hearing you. We are not going to draft to go and sponsor people who are killing our people, killing our soldiers, abducting our people and stealing and taking ransom from the community. That should never happen. All right. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris.
Hello, sir. Good evening. Where are you calling from?
Secretary Chris is your namesake, Nijo here in the UK.
Oh, Nijo himself. How are you, sir?
That's me. I'm good. And getting some inspiration from your program this evening.
Oh, that is good.
Thank you very much, and greetings to your listeners and viewers across the globe.
Thank you.
Can I make 3 simple points, please?
Sure.
Regarding, just to support your previous speaker regarding Bui confusion and financing. And this might not apply just to Bui.
Okay.
But a clarification to the entire Amazonian population and sympathizers to the struggle. And thank you for clarifying. We've moved from a revolution and now it's a struggle. Thank you for that clarification, Secretary Chris.
Thank you.
The first point of 3 that I will make is that the draft funding does not replace regular county and LGA funding. This is a special income channel for a special project.
Right.
And the second thing I will say is the project is going to be a national project. So all the counties, all the LGAs would all take part at the same time.
What do you mean? What do you mean by the same time?
It's a project that will be executed through a national project.
Okay, I get you. So what you are trying to say is these funds are being raised for a project that will be prosecuted at the same time
across the nation.
Across the nation. Okay.
Yes, and the collection goes from now till December. So counties let counties not confuse this. This does not replace the normal county finances. Counties are still supposed to run their affairs as they have been doing before this draft project came up. The draft project is just an additional income stream for a particular purpose. Please, we need to get this really clear so that people don't get confused and stop funding their normal projects in their counties. This is a special project. That's why it's called the draft.
Okay. So I get your point. I get your point. However, how do you pick a sum of money like 100,000 for one particular project across the nation?
My understanding is this is a project. The projects are in phases. Secretary Chris.
Okay.
The projects, first it's going to be a national project. Secondly, it will be in phases. It will not all be executed at the same time. And when you sit down and plan projects, you have a budget. And the budget is such that for us to have this project successful, it has to be $1,000 per Ambazonian citizen. We are 8 million of us. We are assuming that about 2 million or 3 million of us will make these contributions and these projects will be executed as planned.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that enlightenment. I hope that our listeners, particularly the people in Bui, get that.
Yeah, I thought I made that clarification because I was a bit concerned with the questions and the demand from my friend Shay. I would also speak to Shay this evening and help him to clarify what the position is. Thank you very much, Secretary Chris.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the call. All right. I will take 2 more callers and I will call it a day. The lines are open now, gentlemen. You can go ahead and make your call. Okay. Hello.
Hello, Secretary. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. May I know who is calling? Oh, yeah, sorry. May I know from where you are calling? Not who is calling, but from where you are calling, please.
Okay. My name is Frank. I'm calling from the USA.
All right. Frank. Frank Menchum.
Correct.
Okay. What is your contribution, sir? You have 1 minute.
Yeah, thank you. Before I go ahead to come in with my contribution, I want to say hello to you and to your listeners as well as viewers. But I was trying to come in to tell our brothers that, we should keep the explanation of how we want to execute our projects back in our counties and in our LGAs. Everybody should be able to get that information from there, and as well as, the disciplinary kind of things we may want to do within our counties and LGAs. Let's come here and shout out the atrocities of La Republique, call out our brothers to come in and be part of what we are doing, and try to inform ourselves as to the vital information that needs to be put out here. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for the call, sir. I appreciate that. All right. This could be my last caller. I didn't get 1 ground zero. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Please, can you turn down the volume of the set in your background, please?
The volume is completely down.
No, it's not completely down. I can hear the television set behind you talking. Either it's a radio or television, or whatever it is.
Okay, sir, it's completely now.
All right. Where are you calling from, please?
So I'm calling from Equatorial Guinea.
Oh, wow. Equatorial Guinea. You're watching on satellite?
Yes, sir. It's on satellite.
Okay, thank you. What is your contribution today?
Sir, I just wanted to appreciate your effort and the interim government on what you people have been doing over there. And I wanted to know how we can do, Guinea Equatorial to contribute is a bit difficult. I wanted to know how somebody can contribute to help the interim government.
Do you have a debit card, a bank card?
Yes, sir. We have an account in CCA Bank.
All right. So what I said from the beginning of the broadcast is after the broadcast, I will put a link on the ABC Facebook page for people to click on that link. It will take you to a website, and from that website you can make a donation, an anonymous donation. That donation, when you donate, you specify on the website which county, which local government you are donating to, and the interim government will get those funds, and nobody can track you, nobody can know you. That is what we have figured out.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
So visit Facebook, visit ABC Facebook after the broadcast, and you will find that link.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, sir. You have a great evening. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before I go, I just want to remind you one more time. We have the BLM County War Drive coming up at the weekend, precisely on Sunday, June the 14th. And please, I am inviting you, if you appreciate me and you appreciate Field Marshal, and you want the BLM to produce more of Le Fangse and Kiange and Fontem Asunganye, please, show up on Sunday. Show up on Sunday and support the BLM. But if you are unable to be available on Sunday in the Zoom meeting, please call my number, make your donation or your draft, and I will make sure it gets to the county with your name read out or announced on Sunday. Please, I am pleading with you. Let's save Ambazonia. Let's save the BLM. If any county is left out there, at the end of the day, we cannot say Ambazonia is safe. Let's continue drafting. I am very well pleased. The president is very well pleased. All of us, and I'm sure including you, are very well pleased with what we see coming in so far. Let's keep the spirit. Let's keep it going. I look forward to seeing you again before the week dies out. Okay, I will be back between now and Friday. I will be back. So please give me a call to support the BLM draft. I look forward to receiving your call. God bless you all, and I look forward to seeing you again. And good night.
rule our purpose land. I wanna know who owns the land. Who wanna know who owns the land? Okay, now listen carefully. Chinese are ruling the Chinese land. Japan is ruled by Japanese. England is governed by Englishmen. America is governed by Americans. So, Africa must be ruled by Africans. I wanna know who owns the land. We must rule from Cape to Cairo. We must rule our purpose land. I say, we wanna know who owns the land. I wanna know who owns the land. Aslan, hey, Papa Aslan, Papa Aslan, Papa Aslan. It must be free. Angola want to know who owns the land. Mozambique want to know who owns the land. Namibia want to know who owns the land. I say, Soweto want to know who owns the land. Zimbabwe want to know who owns the land. African freedom fighters want to know who owns the land. Papa Slam. Now listen to the history. We've been here since creation. We've been here since creation. What else do I know? Since the time of sun and sun. Since the time of moon and stars. Since the time of air and sea. Since the time of men and things. We must rule from Cape to Cairo. I said we must rule our purpose land. Purpose land. Oh! Okay now I want to talk to my people. Ira Daniela, oh, I will know. Yeah, Ira Daniela, oh, I will know. Now we are the crossroads. On the Femo, Dambela. Bill Sarova Daneta. On the Femo, Dambela. Opalimu Mega Baba.